When you go ahead and create a budget, a lot of people have this idea that creating a budget is sort of like this cage that's meant to entrap you and just suffocate you when building the actual budget. But it's actually not the case. Think of budgeting more of like a guardrail. It's meant to be there to go ahead and guide you as you walk down sort of that budgeting path. So again, budgeting is not meant to suffocate you and strain you. It's actually meant to help guide you along your journey, along your financial journey, right? So, a nice quote that I thought really summed it up is, a budget is just permission to go ahead and spend. So, I mean, it makes sense. When you go ahead and create a budget, it's this pretty much recipe of different numbers that tells you, hey, I can go ahead and spend this much on these different things. So, starting off, I think it's also important to have a why. Before you even create the actual technical budget, why do you want to go ahead and have a budget? I know for me personally, the big reason I want to go ahead and have a budget is so I can start building up some sort of capital, maybe use it to go ahead and maybe invest in the stock market or invest in just other projects I want to go ahead and try and create and whatnot. So try and find a reason to sort of motivate you on those days where you really just want to go ahead and spend your money and not listen to your budget at all. Use that reason of why you want to go ahead and create that budget to remind you in those, those financial times. Oh, I could just get that nice $100, $200 pair of shoes or jacket or whatever. Use that why to sort of fuel you in those really, tough times. So once you do have your why, taking a look more at the technical side, you want to go ahead and, I personally like to go ahead and look at how much you have incoming, because you know that's like the number you can control. Then from there, you can break it up into sort of like a pie. Oh, you got to go ahead and pay either your rent or your mortgage. So go ahead and take a look at, okay, how much are living expenses for that sense. Go ahead and budget. How much can you go ahead and spend on food? Now, a quick note with budgeting for food or any sort of other expenditures like that. When you go ahead and you first try and make a budget, I would actually, especially though at the beginning times, you go ahead and try and do it, whether you do it, usually it's going to be a monthly budget. Some people like to do it bi-weekly because that's when most people get their paychecks, but whatever works for you. Go ahead and save up a bit more than what you think you're going to go ahead and spend. So if you think your monthly grocery budget is $500, go ahead and maybe budget $600 and see from there if $600 is enough to go ahead and sort of cover your expenses for that. All right, so the goal is to always try and work on actually developing and building your budget over time. So your budget, ideally, at least the way I see budgets, is not going to stay the same necessarily. It's going to grow over time. So for example, with the food, when you first either move out or you first have to go ahead and do some other expenses, you have to buy pots and pans and things like that. And you're still trying to also have that learning curve of how much does this actually cost me? Because this is, when you first create a budget, it's bringing awareness to yourself of, oh wow, this is where all my money tends to go to. So do have sort of let's say $600 saved up for your food. Then from there, you can see, oh, okay, I only really spend $300 to $400 a month on food. And then you can sort of change your budget to go ahead and match that amount. So again, your budget's always going to be changing and expanding over time. And I mean, if you want it to, right? Like you don't have to go ahead and make it change over time. Just, I know it's a bit more work, but it's something you could do, because on that extra $100, $200 that you save from being a little more conscious with maybe getting coupons or maybe getting some good deals, buy one get one free sort of thing. That's an extra $100, $200 towards savings or towards your investments. So once you have your pretty much rent or mortgage figured out, you know how much food you're going to be spending, then you want to go ahead and budget just any other things you want to go ahead and you do plan or expect to go ahead and spend your money on. So maybe entertainment, definitely budget that. Budget every single thing that you could foresee yourself paying for consistently. So again, entertainment, food, rental, mortgage, maybe even like a monthly sort of car expenses, things like that. Maybe you have to go ahead and budget in some sort of gas budget. Again, with gas, budget an X amount that you think is a little higher than what you would normally spend for gas, and then see from there. See, okay, well, if I go maybe to Costco, it's going to be much more cost effective than I go to the gas station down the street, right? So go ahead and see what works for you and just try out. Don't be afraid to try out different things and experiment with your budget as well. I found that to be very helpful to just go ahead and try different things, see what works, see what doesn't, and reanalyze your budget every couple months or so, however often you want to go ahead and check it out. Again, from there, you want to go ahead and make sure you list all the different costs you see yourself going ahead and spending your money on. And then from there, you want to actually go ahead and have some extra money, like an additional fund as well. Call it like your emergency fund, where it's this extra fund or amount of money that is going to cover any unexpected costs. So So this could be, I don't know, God forbid your car breaks down, or maybe you have to go ahead and you just get hit with a bill of you have to spend an extra $200 for some sort of unexpected thing. Maybe you have to go to the hospital and you have to get checked in. There's another $100 fee. So it's like life has all these extra fees that you have to go ahead and pay for. So just keep an eye on, okay, you have all your expected expenses that you have to go ahead and consistently pay for, but then you are going to have unexpected expenses. Maybe you need to go ahead and get new tires. Maybe you need to go ahead and maybe get like some sort of oil change. So keep those things in mind. Maybe you have to go ahead and with the whole everything closing down, you have to go ahead and you think it's a good investment to go ahead and get one of those cool standing desks, right? But those, if you've ever seen the prices on those are quite expensive, quite a few $100s to go ahead and. But they're cool. It's like you're sitting down and you come up and you have that nice standing desk because now you're working at home. So that might be an investment you need to go ahead and take a look at, right? So things like that, because life's forever changing and always evolving. So again, have some sort of an emergency fund. And I personally think that's separate from like your like actual emergency fund. So you have like an unexpected fund more so, and then you have your emergency fund of, oh, okay, I need this money because I just either perhaps got let go or I need access to some extra additional money. Now usually with this emergency fund, you want to go ahead and do, most people say anywhere from 3 to 6 months. I like 6 months as a nice form of cushion, but again, it depends on your situation. There's no one size fits all for anyone or for everyone, because everyone's situation is different. You might have a partner, you might have kids, you might be single, you don't know, you might have to maybe take care of your family of size of 10 or something, right? So again, it does depend on your situation. So go ahead and analyze your own situation and see how much you can go ahead and save up over time. So I do think part of your budget, go ahead and have those consistent expenses you expect to have. Go ahead and have a budget where it's unexpected expenses. That way, you can go ahead and sort of expect the unexpected, and then as well as go ahead and contribute a little bit consistently, sort of this emergency fund, so like that over time, you have this savings sort of built up, and you can continue to, hey, if you ever get let go, you can always rely on your emergency fund and figure things out from there. So, and then a good point to also point out is pets. If you have pets, you got to pay for their food. You have to potentially pay for, I know their grooming and stuff, cutting their nails, things like that. Maybe take that into consideration if okay, your dog grows hair at, I don't know, every month you have to go ahead and get them their haircut, or even for humans, right? We want to go ahead and get a haircut maybe every single month or something like that. Those are the types of expenses you really want to go ahead and sit down. If you have a partner, talk with them and, okay, what are expenses? Every single expense that we can go ahead and try and anticipate now for the month, so that we can expect those expenses. And from there, once you have those expected expenses that you really thought through, you also have your unexpected expenses. Again, this is going to be a bit tougher to go ahead and narrow it down, but you could try and think of worst case scenarios like you have to go to the hospital for like a checkup or something, or maybe you have to, your car breaks down, things like that. So try and see what unexpected expenses could occur, or if you really don't know, then maybe a couple $100 might just be enough for you. But then also make sure you do have some sort of a savings as well. So, and again, so that's pretty much breaking down how to go ahead and create a budget. I think the biggest thing with a budget is people don't want to take the time to go ahead and sit down and sort of, because I know it can be difficult. Trust me, I get it, especially maybe if you're working part-time, or again, if you don't know, if you're not able to expect the unexpected, you don't know what to not expect, right? So it can be difficult to sort of think it through, but again, who knows your lifestyle best? You do, right? Or maybe your partner, whoever you live with. Or if you're single, you. So go ahead, sit down, analyze sort of your lifestyle. If you're a student, go ahead and budget. And okay, well, I have to go ahead and save $400 or $500 per month to go ahead and pay for tuition every semester, every 6 months ish or so. Different things like that, and really try and look at your lifestyle as a whole. So I like to sort of think of it like you're an eagle looking above at your own life, seeing what sort of expenses you go ahead and tend to do on a day-to-day, maybe weekly, and again, monthly basis, however you want to go ahead and break down your budget. So that is pretty much how you go ahead and create a budget, not thinking of it as something that's going to restrain you or keep you in this sort of cage or anything like that. No, it's more of you can even think of it like riding a bike. When you go ahead and create a budget, you have training wheels that's teaching you how to go ahead and cash flow your money, see where your money's going, And then eventually, once you get into the habit of, oh, okay, no, I know I have this much saved, and that's all I'm going to spend. Because I know sometimes it can be tantalizing to be like, oh, I have $50 on my budget. You spent $40 already, and now you have $10 left. Well, and you want to go ahead and watch a movie, and the movie's $20. Oh, well, it's only going to be $10 over my budget. You're like, no. Take a minute. Just give it another week or two. Your entertainment budget is not, more important than your savings budget, right? Or your investment budget, right? And again, that's going back to why do you have this budget? Like, if you really find your entertainment is more important than your investing or savings, then by all means, you know yourself better. But take a look back to why are you creating this budget? Then from there, you can go ahead and say, well, all right, I just got to give it another week, give it another 2 weeks or wherever you get paid. And then from there, or even, a month, you can go ahead and look, all right, cool, now I have re-upped my budget, and now my budget has $60 because we saved the $10 and we tend to re-up it every, let's say, $50 or something. Now you have $60 to go ahead and spend. So it sort of helps you to, again, sort of like guardrailing or training wheels to watch where your cash flow is going and where you're going ahead and watching the habits that you are continually doing with your money. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at how to go ahead and create a budget on today's Money Talk Monday, episode number 5. Again, where we discuss money every single Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern or Pacific Standard Time. Try to aim for 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So every single Monday. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, please feel free to comment down below. Reach out to me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, taking a look at how to build a budget. Thanks for watching.